33 cars, millions of followers, an arrest in Romania, one tweet that turned into a global meme. This is the story of how the self-proclaimed king of toxic masculinity became one of the most controversial figures on the internet, and how his meteoric rise ended in a spectacular fall. Emery Andrew Tate III was born on December 1, 1986, in Washington, D.C. His father, Emery Tate, was an international chess master known for his brilliance and eccentricity. His mother was a British kitchen worker who provided stability for the family. Andrew's childhood was turbulent. The family moved frequently between the US and the UK, and Andrew grew up convinced that he was destined for something bigger. Sport became his first stage. In 2005, he entered the world of kickboxing, where he went on to become a 4-time world champion, winning 76 fights out of 85. Yet fame did not come from the ring. It came from the screen. In 2016, Tate appeared on the British reality show Big Brother. His confident, provocative, and arrogant persona drew immediate attention. But just 6 days later, he was removed from the program when videos surfaced of him hitting a woman with a belt. Tate insisted it was consensual roleplay, but the internet had already received its first taste of his scandalous personality. It was at this point that Andrew Tate realized something. Shock and provocation brought him more attention than any athletic victory ever could. In the following years, Tate built a brand around himself. War Room, a secret society that cost $5,000 a year to join. Hustlers University, an online subscription of $50 per month, marketed as a pathway to financial freedom. At its peak, more than 100,000 people were enrolled. The promotion was built on affiliate-style recruitment, where students were rewarded for signing up others. Critics called it a pyramid scheme dressed up as an educational platform. But to young men around the world, desperate for answers and attracted by his charisma, Tate was selling hope. YouTube and TikTok were filled with clips of him sitting in luxury mansions, posing with supercars, or lecturing from private jets. His statements were always bold, always controversial. Depression isn't real. It's a lie made up by weak people. Women belong to men. I moved to Romania because it's easier to avoid charges there. Outrage fueled the algorithm. The more offensive he was, the faster his content spread. His followers clipped and reposted his videos by the thousands, flooding TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. By 2022, Andrew Tate had become one of the most searched names in the world. The peak of absurdity came in December 2022. Tate decided to provoke one of the world's most famous climate activists, Greta Thunberg. He tweeted at her, "I have 33 cars. Their emissions are enormous. Give me your email and I'll send you the full list." Her reply became historic. SmallDickEnergy@GetALife.com. Within 12 hours, the tweet had over 1.8 million likes, the most viral in her career. The next day, Romanian police arrested Tate and his brother. A myth spread instantly. Pizza boxes seen in his response video had tipped off authorities to his location. Though the police later denied this, the legend had already gone viral. Wikipedia was edited to read, "Knocked out by Greta Thunberg." But behind the memes were serious allegations. Romanian prosecutors accused Tate, his brother, and their associates of running an organized crime group that exploited women. They claimed women were recruited with false promises, forced into pornography, and kept under control with threats and psychological abuse. Some victims testified that their passports were taken away. In the UK, four women filed a civil lawsuit against him. In the US, separate investigations began into his finances and possible money laundering. In August 2024, Romanian police conducted new raids. In November, a court ruled that prosecutors had committed procedural errors, giving Tate temporary relief. but not vindication. Meanwhile, his image online only grew stronger. Supporters framed him as a martyr, a truth-teller silenced by a corrupt system afraid of strong men. In schools across the world, teachers reported a disturbing trend: young boys quoting Andrew Tate in classrooms, often to challenge or mock female teachers. Reports of harassment increased. Psychologists called it toxic masculinity 2.0, weaponized through TikTok. Tate's financial empire was equally controversial. Beyond Hustlers University, he claimed income from casinos in Romania, cryptocurrency promotions, private chat rooms, and online courses. The business model was simple: create an aura of success, attract young men searching for answers, promise them wealth and dominance, and use a network effect to keep the machine running. His revenue was estimated in the millions of dollars each month. But the empire relied heavily on his cult of personality. Once that reputation began to crack, the entire structure trembled. The story of Andrew Tate is not just the story of one man. It is a mirror reflecting the internet era itself. It shows how algorithms reward the most extreme voices, how controversy spreads faster than truth, and how young people searching for role models can end up idolizing a dangerous figure. Supporters still believe he is a warrior against the system. Critics call him a symbol of misogyny and fraud. Either way, his empire is collapsing, and he remains under investigation in multiple countries. Whether guilty or not, his place in internet history is already cemented, both as a man who mastered TikTok's attention economy and as a cautionary tale of how quickly it can all implode. Andrew Tate's life is a warning about how easy it is to become famous in the digital age, and how just as easily that fame can crumble when it's built on provocation, hatred, and deception. In the end, the Andrew Tate saga is not just about one man's downfall, but about the environment that allowed him to rise. Algorithms rewarded his most extreme statements, fans amplified his content without questioning it, and critics unintentionally made him even more famous by reacting to him again and again. His story forces us to ask difficult questions. Why do so many young men feel drawn to this kind of message in the first place? What responsibility do platforms, schools, and parents have in shaping how role models are chosen, followed, and celebrated by millions? Andrew Tate may fade, but the cultural vacuum that created him is still here, waiting patiently for the next controversial figure to fill it completely. However, Andrew Tate's story didn't end with his arrest. After the dramatic events of December 2022, his name only grew louder in the global media. While under house arrest, Tate cleverly used social media to maintain control over his narrative, painting himself as a victim of a massive global conspiracy. Every post he made went viral, with millions of views and endless streams of memes created by his followers. He introduced the idea of the Matrix, claiming that a shadowy system controlled the world and was trying to silence free thinkers like him. This narrative resonated deeply with young men who felt lost, powerless, or alienated in modern society, making Tate a symbol of rebellion against perceived oppression. The psychological phenomenon of Tate's popularity. Sociologists have pointed out that the phenomenon of Tate's rise is a reflection of the digital age. In a world where social media algorithms reward outrage, controversy, and extremism, Tate's content was perfectly engineered to spread like wildfire. Short, punchy clips of his most provocative statements were easy to share and almost impossible to ignore. TikTok and YouTube became the engines of his fame, turning him into a digital superstar overnight. For young audiences hungry for strong emotions and simple answers, Tate provided both. He positioned himself as the ultimate role model, a wealthy, confident, unapologetic man who rejected societal norms. This image was especially appealing to teenagers struggling with issues of identity and masculinity. Teachers around the world began reporting disturbing trends. Boys quoting Tate's words in classrooms to challenge authority, mock female teachers, and bully classmates. In some schools, administrators had to issue special guidelines to counteract his influence. Yet, even as his reputation crumbles, Tate remains a cultural force. Supporters still view him as a symbol of resistance, while critics see him as a warning about the dangers of unchecked online influence. His story is a case study in how algorithms, greed, and charisma can combine to create a global phenomenon, and how quickly that phenomenon can turn destructive. Ultimately, Andrew Tate's rise and fall serve as a cautionary tale. In a world where anyone can become famous overnight, fame itself has become a dangerous game. Tate mastered the rules of that game, but in doing so, he revealed the dark side of the attention economy, a system that rewards provocation, fuels division, and leaves real-world harm in its wake. This is the extra section you can add to your original story to expand it and bring the total length closer to your desired target.